for the student of W1. I was never somebody that planned. I was the student that went into a classroom assessment or an exam hall assessment and just started writing. I probably didn't read the question properly. I probably didn't identify the keywords. I was always just in a hurry to start, and I thought that any time spent doing anything other than writing was a waste of my time. I was always so quick to start, but then within 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, I would hit a wall. I would get stuck, and I would look around and see everybody else around me writing and knowing exactly what they were doing and how they were doing it and why they were doing it. And I would just start gathering random ideas and writing those random ideas into my work. Unfortunately then, because I didn't understand the journey of what I was writing, I didn't understand the structure of it from beginning to middle to end, it was very unlikely that my teacher, if it was a classroom assessment, or a complete stranger, if it was an exam assessment, it was very unlikely that they'd understand the journey if I didn't. And so when I started teaching, I realized that I had to try and make a way of planning that would make it really accessible, really straightforward, and really convince students that planning is the right thing to do. So you start off obviously by identifying the keywords in the task, always in a different color. You know that the exam will be printed in black ink, so always make sure you have that blue, green, red pen to highlight the keywords within the question. If there is any evidence of PALF, of purpose, audience, language and form, then not only do we identify evidence, but we find PALF. We then create this scribble and sequence plan, a detailed plan of what we want to take with us in the writing, so what we're kind of packing in our bag for the journey, and then ideas around the outside for paragraphs that we're going to write about on that written journey. Each paragraph becomes like a stop on the journey, if you like. So you've got the start, the stops along the journey, and then the last stop at the end, the destination, the final paragraph. If you're really clear in that journey that you're taking the reader on, whether it's your teacher or the stranger as an examiner, they're going to feel really clear in that journey as well. And ultimately, all their marking of your work is how clear and engaging a journey did that person take me on. So planning is very, very important for that reason. Get used to the idea that you need to plan under timed pressure. Give yourself 20% of whatever the time limit is. So if your teacher gives you an hour, it's 12 minutes. If the teacher gives you 45 minutes, you're planning for 9. If the teacher gives you, testing my maths out here, if the teacher gives you like 30 minutes, make sure you're spending like 6 minutes planning. Always 20%, because it's a good amount of time to create a really thorough and detailed plan, but crucially, you are still leaving yourself with 80%, this huge amount of time for you to then write everything up in detail. Just go back to that car analogy again. Don't be the person that gets in the car and just drives off. You will get lost, you will go down cul-de-sacs, you'll hit dead ends, you'll think that you're really doing well because you set off first. But it's the driver that takes the minute or two to plan the journey, put it in the sat-nav and set off a minute or two after you, who has a much more efficient, much calmer and much more enjoyable journey. And that's all your writing is. It's a considered, detailed, written journey for you, and a journey that you are going to take that reader on.